G'day folks, Ben from Snowy's today with the Quest Dreamer Self-Inflating Camp Mats.
Hit it.
These are 7.5 centimetre thick mats with a large multi-function high flow valve for easy inflation and deflation, and the top is a nice soft touch stretch fabric to make it comfortable to sleep on. Before we dive in, we've got loads more content like this on our channel, so make sure you like and subscribe below. Now let's jump into the product. So these mats come in two sizes, just your regular and your XL, and they pack up in these bags here. So they weigh for the regular about 2.3 kilos and about 2.9 kilos for the XL. And that packs up to, for the regular, inside here about 59 long and about 26 centimeters in diameter. And then the XL is about 68 centimeters in length and about 27 centimeters in diameter when it's all rolled up inside here. Now these are roll top bags that they come with, so you roll it up, slide it in the top there, and it keeps it reasonably waterproof if it is out in the rain or anything like that. It's going to keep it pretty dry, but not a waterproof bag, so you don't want to store it out in the rain. And you do also get inside the bag a couple of just Velcro straps here, so when you pack it up, we'll show you how to do that later. You can roll it up, put these around the mat to hold it closed so it doesn't unravel as you try and put it inside the bag. Now the mats themselves, as I said, you've got the regular and the XL. The regular here measures 188 centimeters in length and 55 centimeters in width. They're both 7.5 centimeters in thickness. And the XL here is 198 centimeters in length and 63 centimeters in width, and also 7.5 centimeters in thickness. The mat's made of a 30 denier soft touch polyester top here, which has got almost a brush feel to it, a little bit of stretch in the fabric, and it feels nice and soft to feel, and both to sort of line and put pressure on. The base is a heavier duty 75 denier polyester base, and it's all TPU coated on the inside to give it that airtight nature. And inside is a solid foam fill throughout the mat there that they've tested to an R value of 9.7, which is about as warm as you need for any winter camping conditions. So you put this on cold ground, it's going to keep you warm from the cold coming up from the ground and into your body. Now there's one valve on the mat, and you can see the sides are all sealed along the edge here, and it comes up to one multi-function valve on the end here. So nice large valve. If we screw the top off here, we've got our multi-function little two-way valve or one-way valve inside here, and this pivots around. At the moment this is set up such that it will allow air to suck in the mat but not come out. If I open that up like that, it opens up, it allows a maximum airflow both in and out of the valve, so that's what we want to set it to when we're starting to deflate. And then if you flick it right around like this, it turns into deflate mode, which allows air to be pushed out. But if you do happen to let it unroll, it won't allow the air to suck back in. So that's our multi-function valve on the end there. Once it's all pumped up, put this back on and it seals it up nice and airtight. Let's keep the air in overnight. Now I'm going to roll this up for you shortly and show you how easily it goes back in the bag, but I just want to sit on it and show you some of the comfort first. Now, I haven't put any extra air in this mat here. If you wanted, you could use a pump to blow a little bit of air in the valve in there to tighten this up. Use your breath if you like. Preferably not the best option because you can get moisture, or you do get moisture coming out of your breath, which can go inside the mat. If you do use your breath to inflate the mat, make sure you store it with the valve open to allow that moisture to escape. But where possible, just use a pump to inflate it. Now, if I sit on this mat here, to give you an idea, if I just sit straight upwards like this, obviously most of the pressure is now at this point of my body here, and I am pushing straight through to the ground there, but I don't feel like I'm hitting the ground hard. If I lay down on the mat, my shoulder sinks quite comfortably into the mat here. 7.5 centimeters gives me a good amount of thickness. I don't have a pillow with me at the moment, but I feel like I would sleep quite comfortably, and this does feel quite nice to lie on this fabric here. Lying on my back, certainly not going through to the bottom there, and once again, that's without any extra pressure in the mat there. So certainly the only time I can really get through to the bottom of the mat is if I sit up like this. And if I bounce, I can feel myself hitting the bottom, but even then, I'm still feeling it soft because the foam is compressing against the ground there. So if I did want extra firmness, I just pump a little bit of air in the valve at the end of the mat there, and that'd lift me up a little bit. But I certainly don't need, for me, to put extra air in this mat to sleep comfortably on this, lying down completely on my side. Now, pack up of the mat. We'll do it on the XL here. We need our two straps here. And we've got XL size bag here. Now this is the same width as the mat, so we don't need to fold this in half to be able to roll it up. We can just roll it up as it is. So first thing I'm going to do is come to the valve at the end here, and I'm going to open it up completely. So I'm just going to turn this completely sideways like that, so there's a maximum amount of air coming out of that valve. I come down to the foot end of the bag here, sorry, of the mat, not the bag. And to get it started, just a bit of a fold. I like to use 3 points of contact, so 2 hands and my knee there. If it was wider, I could use 2 knees, and just tuck it in. Try and get this first roll as tight as you can. Now you don't have to squeeze all the air out on the first pass. Just roll it the first time. I'm using both knees now because it's getting a bit firmer with all the extra foam. I'm going to try and do this just once and see if I can fit it in the bag. If it doesn't, we can just unroll it and try it a second time to then see if it will go in. I can feel there's still a bit of air inside here. So I'll go right to the end here, and I'll just now flick this valve over to the deflate mode. So if I now unroll this, see it's not sucking the air back in because that valve is sealing it off, but I'm going to put this on and see how easily or how close we are to being able to get this inside the bag here. Manufacturers nowadays are making stuff sacks much bigger than they used to. Quest is certainly one that is putting a lot of consideration into small details like the size of stuff sacks for their mats and products. That's actually going to go in there pretty easily with just the first roll. I won't go all the way because I'm actually going to roll it a second time to show you how much more air you can squeeze out, but that will go inside there pretty easily. But what I'm going to do is leave this, I'll open that up, leave that on deflate mode, unroll it, start from the bottom and just go a second time. So put a bit more pressure on it this time. I'm going to put both knees into it, squeezing even more of the air up towards the valve at the end there. And once I get to the end this time, I'm going to grab the Velcro straps, tighten it up. So you can see as I come to the end here, you'll see I've now got this extra air that will squeeze out of the mat there. So we've now made that smaller. I'm going to do this up. Grab my straps. Now that is much smaller now. This should go inside this bag really easily. Easily made to fit inside there. So that is how to pack up, well, there's the features and how to pack up your Quest Dreamer camp mat. These are a really good quality, affordable and well thought out option. Setting them up is easier than packing them up. To set that up now, I would just take it out of the bag. I would undo this valve here and leave it initially completely open like this. Allow the air to suck in. If you store your mat like this at home, uncompressed, then you probably have the mat inflated within a few minutes. If you do store it rolled up like this at home, then you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for that foam to expand completely and get out to the full 7.5 centimeters. You may even need to use a pump just to blow a little bit of air into it, just to help it inflate. But when you do that, don't use an air compressor, just use a mild sort of like an airbed pump or something like that. Otherwise you're going to damage the bonded nature of the construction of these mats here. They are the Quest Dreamer camp mats. You can check these out online at snowies.com.au.